Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Okay, what I want to talk to you about today is something that I went to Quest Lab today today is the 3rd of October. So let me explain to you what happened there. But also, I want to explain to you what also happened. It is now 9:38 p.m. I had some problems with earpods, but that's beside the point. But that's what delayed me, and then my dinner. That all delayed me for doing this. But let's go into the episode. Okay, now I went today. My appointment was at 10:10. In the previous episode, remember I mentioned that I had to make an appointment from 8:30 to 10, and they gave me this thing of 10:10. Very odd, very very odd time. So we go. So I go in. Sorry. So I go in there, and So we leave the house and whatever, and that's just some traffic, and I'm getting concerned because you have to have an appointment and you have to make this appointment. So I went, okay. So we went. Luckily, when we got there, the waiting room was emptier than I'm used to. So what happened was, so I asked, so we check in. I'll tell you how this process is. When you first make your appointment, you call on the phone. It captures the number you use. It gives you a code, but the code to me is useless because it doesn't do anything much. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to enter that code into the machine so that you can so they can get you in for your appointment. Because then there's your name, everything. All your information, like your birthday, etc. So, but also, it asks you whether you want to check in by and it asks you the following. It says if you're doing it for yourself. So yes, I am doing it for myself. So then the next thing it ask me whether I want to use the code or the phone number. No, I want to use the phone number because the code is letters and numbers and horrible to remember. So I use that. So I use the phone number. So then my mom, which was pushing the key for me, says, okay. And she asked me for the phone number. I give her my phone number. That enters. We put next. And lo and behold, we get in there really fast. But there's one thing that happens. That they want you to scan your ID, but the problem with that is that the scanner never works. There's a scanner on the bottom of the machines, but it doesn't have a tray, so this thing never works. It's crazy. So okay, so we get this here. In the past, I've had my name be wrong. And that's hard because it's that weird name. But luckily today my name wasn't wrong at all. So so I go there, and the phlebotomist it calls me, and I go give her the piece of paper with the test that I need run, so she knows what tubes to draw. So then, after that, she draws the blood, and I leave. No big problems this time. The last time I was there for 2 or 3 hours, almost 3 hours, waiting for a blood test. This blood to be drawn for these tests. I tell you, and these are tests that I have drawn every 3 months. And this is interesting because that's the way I do that. That's the way we do that. So I'm happy today that there were no issues. And I was happy that it was a female that drew the blood, because last time I got this one male, oh God, I'm not gonna mention his name, but oh God, yes, I didn't like the way he did things. It's very hard to deal with it. He stabbed me extremely hard, and I was like not happy because why, I don't know why he did this. This lady was very nice. She did her thing, yes, but was very good. The service was good. There was no problems or complaints. Because let me tell you, if there is problems, I am the first one that'll complain, because I don't appreciate bad service from anybody. Because medical care is important, service is important, all of that, and I appreciate good service everywhere. I do appreciate it very much. It's something that myself and other disabled people need to advocate for. But if you find a place that's not good servicing for you when it comes to laboratories and things, if you can change. Because it needs to be done, and some people, I know some people in the healthcare field, don't know how to deal with the disabled people, or don't like to deal with them. But if you are like that, you are in the wrong field. Because man, you deal with a lot of disabled people. Let me give you an example. Imagine if you were if you worked for a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. I forgot the word a minute. Yeah, that would be terrible if you don't like kids, because you're dealing with kids every day. That's no. But I've had issues too where I realize that staff don't know how to deal with kids, or disabled adults either. I had an issue with one day, because I'll give you this example so you understand where I'm coming from. Okay. I was having a procedure done. And I'm not going to say what it was. And all of a sudden, one day, I went to this procedure place, and if I would have walked in with a girlfriend, wife, or any significant other, it wouldn't have been a question. It wouldn't have been a question. They would have asked me They would have asked me about me and my health and what they're doing and stuff. But because I went with my parents to this procedure, some ignorant person decides to ask if I know my medical history right in front of me. Could you imagine how annoying that is? I don't like that. They're not talking to me; they're talking at me, and I'm not appreciative of that. I'm an adult that understands and knows his medical history, medical conditions, etc. Why? Why did they do that? I have no idea. It's, that's something that we have to deal with. I don't know why, but that's annoying when people think that they know what's going on. Or they think they know, okay, this one, just because they come with his mom and dad, doesn't mean that I don't know what I am doing. It is funny because at that same day, the procedure, I had to advocate for something to be modified. So, yeah, for anesthesia to be given before being put on the bed for the procedure. But yeah, because I'm not gonna say why, but that I had to advocate for that. In closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening, and I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4 Kilo Echo Yankee or KE4KEY at gmail.com. Once again, thank you, and thank you for your support. And I'll see you next week. And as a follow up to that, you can also rate and follow me on